All right. On today's podcast, we talked about we dipped our toes a little bit into politics, but only because we
It's
we had to set the stage of um like external influences.
yes,
Like
yeah,
why are we being, why may we be feeling a little bit heavy right now? And the weight of the world. That's really it. And
yeah. We
then
didn't discuss because we wanted to.
no, it's just because it fucking it's happening
Yeah,
and it's on our minds and on our hearts and
yeah.
kind of unavoidable. And then, yeah, I think,
I shared openly. We had a passing in our family, and so I shared parts of that, and that if we have any loyal followers, that'll help maybe connect some dots from our last couple of shares about how life has been heavy for me and our family and things like that. Um, so
yeah,
yeah, shared some of that
grief,
grief,
loss.
loss,
Um,
the contrast of it all, lessons learned, and how I personally am trying to pull myself out of it.
yeah,
Tools and tricks and
mhm.
self motivation.
Yeah, that's the pod.
Yeah.
So hope you enjoy it.
And Justin's cranky because he's off coffee.
Just a little bit quieter.
No, you're not cranky. I'm just kidding. But he's off coffee.
Yeah,
Well, it's been a while, Justin.
it's been a while, but we're here. Still here, still talking.
Somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're still friends.
yeah. I think we'll always be friends. Just sometimes life gets in the way of relationship, connection, doing the things you want to do all the time, or just like work.
Yeah, we're adults now.
Yep.
I've been an adult for a while.
How long?
Well, at least 15 years,
Wow.
if
Did
not
the math
longer.
on that. I was like, huh?
uh,
Give yourself credit.
yeah, but I would assert most days I wake up now, I feel like I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Life is kind of mental right now.
It feels that way, yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Um, Not just even in our personal lives, but on the grand stage, the
On a
global,
global scale.
the neighbors to our south
hmm
are going through a lot. Interesting,
It is.
interesting times. You know what I found very interesting actually um, was social media, especially after like going through COVID, and they have guidelines and public safety measures and all that kind of stuff, and then now it's just flipped. It was the left, and now it's the right. Fucking wild.
Yeah.
Not to get into politics, but um, yeah, just find it so interesting.
hmm
They're just whoever's in charge. It's just whoever's in charge.
Yeah. But you can't get attached to it or married to it, right? Thinking that whatever side you want to affiliate with, they're your Lord and Savior. I mean, you have to use a lot of discernment because I don't still trust anything that's going on.
No. Yeah.
Like yeah, it could just all be a guise. It could just be false advertising, and it's like a bait and switch thing, right?
Mhm.
Fuck, I don't know. It's all
Well,
too much.
you know what I think is very true is you can live in this reality because this is the only time I see it.
Yes.
In my day to day, life is
No.
jolly. It's quite merry. Um,
It's
I,
Jolly and Mary.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
I go to the studio. I see my lovely community of people. I get to see my friends. Working with clients. It's great.
hmm
It does not impact me day to day.
Yeah.
But then, living in that reality, it's very present. And it's
Yeah.
constant like, whoa, oh, Jesus Christ.
hmm
Life is wild. The algorithm.
Yeah. Well, when we had Men's Circle Tuesday, it was interesting because the inauguration, And the new president, it came up in conversation for literally less than 60 seconds. And for me personally, I got a snippet of different inputs, and it's like they were all different.
Yeah.
So it's literally the algorithm in the room showing you, okay, this is where this guy's getting his information from. This is where this guy's getting his information from.
Yeah.
This is where I'm getting mine from.
Yeah.
And it was like, there's unless you're gonna sit and talk for 8 hours about it,
Yeah.
you're not
Sift through
like
the
a
weeds here.
small conversation, a short one is not gonna do any good.
Yeah.
You know, just get your back up and riled up, and
Yeah.
what is it even fucking worth it?
I don't know.
You know.
Yeah.
I would say though I'm guilty of watching the inauguration, not 8 hours of it, but I watched in and out, and it's just mind-numbing. Like the pageantry of it all
Yeah.
is extreme, and you're like, okay, you want to talk about government efficiencies and where money's being leaked and stuff like that. It's like, how much money was spent on this fucking thing?
Yeah.
How many homeless people in Washington could you have helped or saved with all this bullshit?
What was the budget on fireworks?
Who knows? Out front, blowing off cannons and stuff, and all this stuff from back
Cannons?
in the. It's
I did
just
not
like,
watch it.
it's
Sorry.
2025.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? But it was trippy for me because, like, just on Trump's side when he was being inaugurated, I guess, sworn in, like you had like Jeff Bezos was in the background, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Joe Rogan, Dana White. I'm trying to think who else was a kind of a billionaire celebrity that was in the background. It was just like, it's fucking weird. It's like, why are all those like
Yeah.
weird
It's influence.
to me?
Yeah. Well,
Weird.
changing of the guard.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think, like you said, I think it's challenging because I think if you don't have a little bit of awareness around it and you're completely complacent, well then, is that any good? I don't know. I think you probably should have a little bit of understanding.
Yeah. To make any informed choice, you need education.
Yeah.
But I would, maybe not education, but curiosity. More curiosity. I think judgment it's obviously hard not to judge, but that can be, that can skew your belief or your desire for certain outcomes and not enjoy certain people. So
Yeah.
fuck, it's tough.
Yeah. I don't know. But also,
Here we are.
no, but I think there's some people that are wired to be able to handle all the information. Like, one of the people I follow and have met and been to her conferences, Sarah Swain, like, she is politically engaged. But I think she has the strength and resolve to be in that fire, but also disconnect and live her own life. Like, it doesn't completely consume her. At least the optics from the outside, at least she illustrates that.
Yeah.
And she talked about it openly, like how she needs to take a step back and this and that. But she's very knowledgeable and educated when it comes to the political system in Canada and obviously paying attention to the U.S. So my point is, she is potentially wired for that, and she can handle it. Someone like myself, I get too probably worked up if I get involved in it and get too focused on it, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in my DNA,
I get worked up too.
right?
But do you think maybe it's, well, I guess you've lived enough
So
life.
here's a simple analogy when I get this from Zach Bush, but it's like, as the human fetus, the baby develops, those cells know who they are. The liver cell knows it's the liver cell. The heart cell knows it's the heart cell. Each, for the most part, cell is staying in its own lane, doing what it's supposed to do. So if I can support the like of Sarah, I can stay in my lane, but I can get my information from her, a trusted source. I can use discernment and go, oh, she's making sense here. She's seeing both sides. She's being pragmatic, and she's right in the middle and delivering information from both sides of the aisle. That could be like a trusted news source. But I don't have to go and spend 8 hours of my day trying to educate myself and get overwhelmed by it all.
Yeah.
So does that make any sense?
Totally. Of course.
And so it's recognizing that that's not a strength of mine.
Yeah.
It's not a strength for me to consume all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shying away from it. I'm aware of it, but anyway,
Yeah. I think you can't spend all the time gathering the information and then trying to figure it out, understanding the systems.
But it's like if you show enthusiasm or inspiration, it doesn't make me enthusiastic or inspire me to do what she's doing.
Yeah.
But it does for her. She's built a bit of a business around it. It's her identity to some degree, among many other things. And so it lights her up.
Go for it.
Fucking do it. Yes.
Find what lights you up.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why people come to me for strength training.
Exactly.
That's what I love to do. Can't help it.
Yeah. Anyway. She's still a long road, though. We got a long way to go.
Long road. I'm optimistic.
There's still an election in Canada to be had, so we'll see where that goes. But I know where it's going, but we'll see how it all turns out. Optimism.
Yeah.
We are definitely in a spiritual war, both individually and collectively, and it's for me personally, it's been a challenge to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Not doom and gloom, but it's just like it's a lot of work right now.
How would you describe a spiritual war? What does that mean to you?
It's a good question. I think it's just being inundated with information and the contrast of life, right? And so you're seeing all the media, and if you're consuming that and it's doing detriment to you, then that entity, that energy, call it negative, is potentially winning. And so I think there's a force rising inside of us that is recognizing that that's just toxic. It's not benefiting us. It's not a healthy way to live. This combativeness and the constant, resistance. And so, I think humanity's just going through this spiritual shift, and it's waking us up, right? And so there's an element of gratitude to be had for all the quote-unquote negative, the darkness, because it's allowing us to see the light, and it's waking people up. And I'm not who I am if it isn't for the last 4 or 5 years with all the bullshit that's gone on. And so, I don't know if that answers the question now, but for me, it's just it's the external forces trying to keep you trapped.
Yeah, I think my description for spirituality is taking responsibility for your life in each and every moment. And I could see how, if you call it a spiritual war, and if we go to the definition, it's really just, there is a battle of information. We're constantly inundated, and not just inundated by media, but people that consume the media, they're projecting in our daily lives, and it's hard to almost focus on self and be responsible for yourself in each and every moment when there's a lot of fear, reactivity, and situations happening that are beyond our control. Yeah. And who knows what's right and what's wrong? It seems like there's a billion different things happening.
Yeah. And it's information that takes you away from your own intuition and your own knowingness, right? Yeah. That's the battle.
Ooh, there it is. That's the battle.
That's the battle.
Whatever's taking you away from your own intuition and sovereignty as a human being.
Yeah.
When you give your power away.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Dude, I'm in it right now when it comes to even personal life and business. It just seems like there's just these things that drag you through the mud, right? And you're like, fuck, well, maybe I should just do this or give up over here or do that. And you're like, well, no, I think that's a I don't know. There's a negativity that's pulling you away from your higher self. It's like, no, you can do hard things. You can fucking push through this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just and I'm going to speak to myself too. Like I have to give myself more credit, which will help build me up because we have been through a lot with this business and family the last number of years, and it's just it wears on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at times there's no escape.
Yeah.
You know. I started reading. I haven't read it. I'm aware of the book, but Dr. Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning.
Yep.
And I just started reading it, and just halfway through the first chapter, and he's describing getting to the concentration camp and just all the things he's seeing, and it's just like I'm reading it last night, almost like how dare you, Jeff, have anything to fucking bitch about, Yeah. But it was a different time, and I don't know, that level of perspective stings a little bit because it's like, how do you allow yourself to feel, right?
Yeah.
Because what do any of us have to complain about?
Yeah. So I joined Paul's spirit gym, and at the start of every Sangha, which is like a 3-hour lesson, he goes over the same things. It's because it's all simple. Like this is the work. If you can get the simplicity of the the 4 doctors, understanding what soul is, all that kind of stuff, then it's imprinted into your psyche. But we do this meditation called heart coherence meditation, and you close your eyes and you breathe in, or you inhale, and it's gold, green, violet, white light, and you're inhaling love, and then you exhale love out to the world. And we just practice that for, I don't know, 5, sometimes feels like 10 minutes. And it's to really bring ourselves into that feeling of love for a period of time where you're just receiving unconditional love, and then you're sharing unconditional love with all living beings of the planet and in all dimensions. And so it's really training your mind and your body and your heart to be in coherence of unconditional love and empathy and compassion and understanding of others. But it's not actually always easy. I was listening yesterday in the sauna, and there wasn't a part of me that could feel love. It was very interesting. So it was almost like, and I've definitely been inundated this week, just all the information and the decisiveness, and it felt like I was distant from my soul, or myself, so much so that I couldn't feel love. And it was probably 10 minutes of just trying to meditate. I'm just trying to, and I'm like, fuck, I thought I was a good meditator. I thought I was good at this. And yeah, I was getting distracted. I was like fucking around with my seat. I was like moving around. Just couldn't get comfortable. And I'm like, just focus. Come on, love, baby, love. And I couldn't do it no matter how hard I tried. So,
well, at least
we'll try again tomorrow.
At least you wear the sweater.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
fake it till you make it.
It's true. It was very interesting.
Well, and I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but also a potential challenge for you is your partner, Jess, is making great effort to educate the youth and support those that use social media and educate them about algorithms and, the heinous things that can happen with manipulation and things.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you're definitely in that energy of probably listening and seeing.
Well, yeah, learning
a little more of what's behind the veil.
Yeah,
right?
It's been good. Like, I've told her, I was like, it's just a hard conversation to have. Like, I notice my even reactivity to it. And her heart's in such a great place. Like, she's trying to educate parents on the reality of how the algorithm will work depending on what you watch. So you can really create a great positive algorithm of things you like. Say it's silly videos you like to send to friends, or fitness, or the things you're interested in. This is me, like fitness, funny videos, that kind of thing. And how quickly, if you click something that's a little bit fucked up, your algorithm will go down there for a while, and you have to like knowingly switch it back. So I think it's great, and I think it's awesome, and I hope she does well with it. But even our conversations, and she's a fiery woman. She's fiery. She's opinionated. She has a degree in journalism.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why she got into this, was social media was journalism. And I can tell, because, man, some of the conversations, I'm like, I just have to breathe through. And it's not that it's something that like triggers him, or it's not that it's something that's polarizing, or that she has an opinion, but I find that any conversation around social media, and or how it's being changed by the government, triggers me.
Oh.
And I think it's because of COVID.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, wow, a lot of things changed, and I obviously have some wounds around that. But yeah, very much so. Definitely not speaking out of turn.
Yeah. Well, and the other trigger point too is when you have someone like Zuckerberg who's admitting to whether he's being manipulated or forced by the government to censor people and manipulate things. It just makes everything more toxic and confusing and fuck whatever, right? So
yeah.
Anyway,
I think Zuckerberg is just whatever you want, daddy, you know?
Yeah.
Look, he's just flip-flop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's observing all that and using discernment and just coming back to yourself, the Paul's messages, obviously. Just stick.
Come back to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why, to take from that story I just shared is, I obviously, if I'm to take my own advice, I need to spend some more time with myself. I need to separate myself a little bit from that reality, the phone, and spend more time exercising, painting, connecting with people, playing games, being back to what my life really is.
Yeah. It's heavy even just to talk about.
It's a
here.
heavy conversation.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. You know what? The truth is, it feels like a safe place. It's still heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it'd be better just to move to the bush?
I could see that in my future.
Live a life of true sovereignty off the grid.
But
if you had the resources and tools to survive and flourish.
Don't get me wrong. I want luxurious freedom.
Yeah.
I don't, really living in the bush doesn't completely appeal to me. There's a lot of resources I think I'd miss. I want a little bit of challenge of daily life, but not fuck, if we don't find a moose,
yeah,
we're not eating this winter. That would be
you could almost frame it too, it'd almost be a little bit disrespectful to those that have fought so hard and become, so found ways to make life more efficient and easier for all of us. The ingenuity behind anything and everything.
Yeah.
It's we should. Let's
I think the truth is too, I love this. I love Collingwood. I love living here. I like the people. I like the way of life. I'd miss if I was secluded.
Yeah.
I'd miss it all. So I think that's what I mean to say. I like bumping into people. You know?
That's not hard around this town.
No, it's not.
Fuck me. You almost need to bring back mask mandates so you just get through the grocery store.
Dude.
It's funny though, like
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, like, if I went grocery shopping with my mom, like you would stop and be in an aisle for half an hour while she talked to somebody.
Oh,
You know, you're just like, fucking go.
Come on.
Um,
Can we get this?
yeah. Or even before, as we get older, I think we learn what boundaries are, and we learn to have a bit of a stronger voice in things. And now you're in a grocery store, and I have the ability to, okay, I gotta keep running here. Sorry, I can't stop and talk. But I can remember years ago myself being in a grocery store or a Home Depot or something, and fuck, you get talking for like 20 minutes, and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I gotta keep going here,
Yeah. Got work to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Home Depot, of course.
Yeah, Home Depot's a spot where you can get caught.
I'm surprised we don't actually do men's circles there.
What department would you do it in?
Definitely like outdoors, 'cause the chairs, you probably have like a nice little outdoor living room set we could all sit at.
The lumber section.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. There's
Smell of
something
wood.
relaxing about being in construction. Like there's something relaxing about work getting done.
Yeah.
Like a nice saw, drill going off in the background. It is relaxing to me now.
Okay. Oh, mercy. Well, what else, Justin?
Fuck, dude. Did you set any goals 2025?
Oh, I don't know. No, it was really much, the only goal was just to survive.
Good.
That's been it so far.
Well, you're still here.
Yeah. I feel like you're trying to leave me down like an update or something.
No. Hey, only if you want to. Only if you're comfortable.
No, I'm comfortable. One of the things that's been challenging is talking on here and then not being able to really express what was going on. But yeah, unfortunately, Terry's sister has passed away about a week and a half ago. And so yeah, it's been really heavy. Life's been challenging. She had a journey with cancer for 6.5 years, and I wouldn't say finally succumbed to it, but it finally took its toll. And so yeah, it's been a lot. The last 2 months for sure, in particular, have been very challenging for the family, and my wife Terry supporting their house and me supporting ours. And so yeah, it's been a lot. So that's why I kind of joke, but I'm also serious. Like, it's just about surviving. It's just been, fuck me, one thing after another. And so it's been a real mental grind, and even, not to make light of the situation, but it's like, it just seemed like, we're in the trenches with that. And then every day, like even some of the clubs, every day something was going wrong. Like all of a sudden the sink broke out of nowhere. So there's just shit leaking and I've got to fix it, The next day we had someone in here and they broke a TV because they're terrible at golf, and then
I hope they're watching this.
yeah, and then it just seemed like things were stacking. Every day there seemed to be something small that would just add just a little more fuel to the fire. And you're like,
Yeah.
Where's the reprieve coming,
Yeah.
So, thankfully, Stacy's at peace now, and we had a beautiful service on Sunday, and I spoke at that, and it went well, and it was a really beautiful day for her. It couldn't have probably gone any better. Then we came back here to the club, and some of us pretty much drank for about 8 hours. It was a really fun time. I think it was a good way to celebrate her, and lots of laughs and conversations, and some golf, and just camaraderie. It was really nice. But then after that day, reality sets in, and you got to get back to it all, and it's tough, and so one of my I don't know if you want to call it a resolution, but maybe a goal for the year was to be a little more offensive with my life, because I feel like I've been playing defense for quite a while now. And so, as silly as it sounds, even like last night, again, just in the thick of it all, it's one of those things where I feel like I've been, what's that line from Dumb and Dumber? Like, what does he say? You just get so sick and tired of being sick and tired that it's like, yeah, I gotta fucking do something different here, change the pattern, change the pattern. And so, again, I've been in a very supportive role the last little while here, or last long while. That it feels like my life to a certain degree has been neglected a little bit. And so last night, before I went to bed, I was just, what am I going to do here? And then I just was like contemplating, the question of like, what if? Like, what's possible? Like, what if? And so before you know it, I had like, I don't know, over a dozen what if statements. And it was like, okay, what if I do this? Like, what if how did I write that? I'm fucking up the podcast here now. But what if I, in the next 30 days, do blah, blah, blah? What if I, in the next 30 days, do this? And I just kept writing them. And they were small tasks. And it was actually, the more I actually woke up this morning thinking about it, and the more I reflected on it, it's really just about meditation and mental work. Like getting my head into a better space to kind of reprogram myself, because it's just it's been a lot, and so just kind of, I guess you could say, going back to basics. At the start of January, I started a small little journal where I just kind of each day gave myself, okay, like literally like list three things that you're going to accomplish today, 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things that you're proud of yourself, and just trying to build, I wouldn't say build up my self-esteem, but like just build some momentum, because fuck me, it just felt like nothing was working, and so that's why I say I felt like I needed to go back to basics and back to, where I started when I started my conscious self-help journey. So anyway, last night allowed me to build a little bit of momentum for today, and now it's my duty to follow up with that and keep track of it and see where it goes. So yeah, it's a bit of a winded update, but
that's great. Thanks for sharing. My question was going to be, how do you climb out of such a long stint of challenge and grief, and but you answered it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I found myself yesterday too, like, it's very, because the family, Stacy and Trevor, her husband, they have 2 young boys. So Noah's going to be 14 soon, and Riker this weekend's actually 9. And if you want to call it empathy or compassion, but like, if you put yourself in their seat and you can really get down, it's like, fuck me, that kid is not, or kids, but especially the youngest one, like he won't have a mother for the rest of his life. He's only 9 years old, It's depressing. But that's, it sounds callous, but like, that's not my story. So for me to sit in that doesn't really benefit. I can go there and visit it and allow myself to have that compassion for the little guy and his older brother, but I can't stay there, else it doesn't benefit anybody. So I have to build myself up to, help build them up and eventually help them heal. And from experience, Terry lost her mom when she was 20 years old. And, I think it might have been this year that it's now, she's lived more than half her life without her mom.
Yeah.
And she's okay. She's doing okay. She's resilient, and she's gotten through it. And, the tears subside, and time does heal all wounds to some degree, if you're willing to do some of the work and process it and have the radical acceptance that shit happens. And And the radical acceptance that just life isn't fair. You know?
Yeah.
And one of the things I said in my speech was, those boys have received more love in the time they have than most people do in their entire life,
Mm-hmm.
or multiple lifetimes. And so if you can use that element of gratitude, it can just sprinkle just a little bit of hope that it's going to be okay,
Mm-hmm.
But it's still tragic. It's just a cunt. It just sucks.
Yeah.
So it's heavy.
Life.
But dude, the fucking time goes on. Like, it's already...
Yeah. Next day.
Like, soon it's going to be 2 weeks since she's gone, and then the next thing it's a month, and then it's 6 months, and then it's a whole year.
Yeah.
And then it'll be 2 years, and then it'll be 20 years, and you're like, holy fuck, where did time go? And we got through that all.
Yeah.
So, but as many of us know in the self-help world and stuff, it's about turning this pain into an opportunity to help others and support and heal and you want me to keep going?
Go.
It's again more work to practice the attachment to things. Like this attachment that she was supposed to be here forever and whatever. It's like that's her soul's journey. That's her soul's evolution. So whatever lesson Stace was supposed to learn in this physical dimension during this time, she did. She completed that.
Mm-hmm.
And she taught me a lot of lessons about myself through her pain and my observation and the reflections that I had for myself. I know Terry's grown from it. I know her boys have grown from it. And so that her journey and her pain is a gift to others, and we should not waste that. But it's also this attachment that she's supposed to be. That's the ego's attachment to that physical that's supposed to keep us safe and comfortable and all that stuff, and that's not what it's there for. So observing it for the lessons that it's to provide. But yeah, and that's the work. And I also shared in my speech too, like the amount of lessons I've learned about myself in the last 2 months is crazy.
Yeah.
My attachments to how things should be and relationships and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I suppose what I would round out by saying, Justin, is I just want to fucking live my life a little bit. It feels like it's been a long time since I lived my life.
Yeah.
When I was young and I wanted to go to school to play golf and stuff, I just followed that path and went and did it.
Yep.
Or I went and this wasn't working out, so I went and got a job there, and then, or I started Ike's Turf, and then I went. It's like that's where I feel it's been missing for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I dare say I'm excited about is just okay. Let's ride the the lightning of momentum here or created myself and do something.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah. I think that's one thing death has always taught me was it's time to live.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's not really promised, so.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's having the balance of it's not putting pressure on yourself to accomplish and do absolutely everything that's possible in this life because it's not possible.
Yeah.
You will never get it done.
Yeah.
There is so much, right? So it's just making sure there's time to be serious and there's time to play and there's time to have fun and there's time to rest and recover and then be serious again.
Yeah. There's time to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually important. It should be prioritized,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the yin and the yang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Loss gives a lot of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that I was reading the book that we got from Dan from our men's group.
Oh,
and
not the Daily Stoic.
No, but the one that talks about like getting your work done.
Oh, The Art of War?
Yep, The Art of War.
Or War of Art? No, Art of War.
The War.
War of art? War of art.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Google it. You'll find
At
it.
the
Spell
end
it
of
both
the
ways.
book.
Yeah.
So the other night, it's probably like a month ago, but I couldn't sleep, which is rare. And so I opened the War of Art, and I just opened to a random page near the end of the book, and it actually talked about ego and soul, and the differentiating qualities of both. And ego is like attachment, material, control, that kind of thing. And then love or soul is unconditional love, understanding, compassion, empathy, all that kind of thing. And it's just the dance. It's understanding the dance of. So we have an ego, we have a soul. Really, they're constantly dancing with each other, and it's because we're in a material reality, so we have to grapple with loss, and that's a part of life. And so one way we can tap into loss is the unconditional love, and knowing that it's always there in memory within you. Yeah, I thought it was so interesting.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny how, in those moments when you're, whatever, but you can open up a book just randomly or anything, and it just.
I laughed. I said, "Ha ha, this is fun."
Yeah, the winks and nudges and the synchronicities you experience in life can just be fun. The little magic moments. You're just like, fuck. Yeah.
Life's a trip.
Yeah. Everything's gonna be okay. Because the fact is, we are all gonna die at some point, and that's where the real party is.
Yeah.
Reuniting with Source and the fluidity of what that is, and
whatever.
It's just such a fucking joke down here.
I know. It's a wild ride. It's interesting why we fear it so much.
Yeah.
It's letting go of what we knew.
Yeah.
What we know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back to the infinite.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. Yeah, and there's a trap too. So like when I think I've spoken about this before, but like Abraham Hicks, and for those that don't know, and it might sound a little woo-woo goofy, but like this is a woman, Esther Hicks, who channels from the other side, channels Source, and my brother introduced me to her and her husband, and it was a trip. And for the longest time, my ignorance, I didn't know she was channeling. I thought it was just her own intuition and whatever else.
Smart woman.
Yeah. And then later find out, I'm like, oh, I'm a goofball. What you don't know is what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So I learned all this, but
might have allowed you to receive the information a little bit.
I like that.
Before you were ready.
Yeah. Judgment free.
Judgment free.
Yeah. More curious. But one of the big things they talk about, and she talks about, is just living life with less resistance, and really just find the joy in everything. And when we get in our own way, when we put limitations on ourselves, that's resistance. And energy can't flow when there's blockages. You just dam yourself up, right? However many metaphors you want to come up with. Just like a light switch that just is causing resistance, so the energy, the electricity cannot keep flowing.
Yeah.
You flip the switch on, there's no more resistance. That's why the light comes on. And so it's a constant dance, but it's just the things we talk about, the polarity of life. It's the yin and yang. It's light and dark. It's you need the shit so that you can see the light. And so, no matter how spiritually evolved you are, you're going to have that contrast in your life, or else what's the point, right? Yeah. So for me, it's reminding myself, and again, the last month here for sure has been reminding myself of, okay, let's get back to, feeling genuine gratitude and finding joy. And, one of the things that came up for me at one of the retreats I went through was already there, her purpose quest was, all the material stuff can come, that's great, but I just want to manifest joy. I just want to live in the most joyful place I can, and for the most part, I feel like I do, with my family and the community I've been able to surround myself with. But call it then the spiritual tug of war.
Mm.
I've gotten trapped into the negativity of the contrast and the bogged down by it, the resistance. And so it's like, hey, we need to clean up my vibe.
Yeah.
We need to clean up my vibration. We need to clean this up, Jeff. Clean up in fucking aisle 10.
Yeah, aisle 10.
Let's clean this shit up. So not easy, but I'm feeling it. So I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I have to give myself more credit for all I've been through and all of our family's been through, because it's been a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm expecting myself to be some, perfect person here, and it's not possible.
Yeah. Yeah, Carl Jung said you have to make the unconscious conscious, or it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And I think that it's easy, like, I heard a stat where it's like you think and feel, well, thinking directs feeling, but 95% of the same thoughts every day. So you actually have a very small window of, if we think of compound interest, of making a change and making it a conscious shift and sticking with it long enough that it becomes unconscious. And that can be going to a community workout class and moving your body and connecting with people and feeling a little bit of joy that way, and then finding what brings you joy each and every day to make that actually a part of your life. Because I think if we actually bring this full circle, there's so many distractions to make you feel or bring you into the state of reactivity or fear or pain or frustration. So how to come back to your reality and come back to joy.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. Well, what's just coming up for me too as I listen is, I believe, could be wrong, but another form of resistance is not allowing myself to feel like shit. Again, like burying myself in or trying to cover up the pain with optimism. It suppresses the feelings, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's like, maybe it's okay, Jeff, to sit for a month and just be sad. Mm-hmm. And just wallow in your shit. Like, maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it is a pretty shitty situation.
Yeah.
Right? And so not trying to just climb out of the hole and go, oh, fuck, it's sunny still. Like, no. So there's that. For me, that's my battle has been trying to be eternally optimistic, but also feeling how heavy and how shitty everything is.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think there's probably some work for me there to allow the pain to still be here and sit in my shit a little bit longer, but at the same time just keep trying to climb a little bit each and every day.
Sometimes I wonder if pain ever, or just sadness or grief, ever leaves. Because Saturday I've been sauning almost every day.
It's sauning?
Sauna.
Is that how you would say it?
Saunaing.
No, I'm curious. I've just
been going in the sauna.
Saunaing?
Saunaing. I've been going in the sauna often, and yeah, I was just doing my thing. I've been trying to take myself into work up to an hour, because if we're doing the sweat lodge in Costa Rica, I want to be able to maintain my center. And so I take myself right to the edge of what feels like I'm gonna pass out, and I'll have to I'll get into like a crouched position in the shower and just put cold water on myself for 5-10 minutes, because I literally can't just stand up. I'll fucking black out. And that's part of me that likes intensity. But I was overwhelmed with emotion, grief of the loss of my grandfather. Mm-hmm. And that was probably the hardest loss I ever had, because he was the man for me and protector when I was a kid. I just wept for a while.
It just came up for you?
Yeah, just I think just taking myself to the intensity of, and there's, I'm watching you guys and there's other grief that's happening in my life, so I think it was just an opportune moment where I just really missed him.
Yeah.
And like wished I had his guidance, So. Yeah, but it was interesting. It was like, still there.
Yeah.
Still
I don't think it goes away. I mean, grief is just love, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, stealing that from Peter Crone, he talks. I don't think the pain of that stuff, grief, it never goes away, but the suffering can, right? And so
Yeah.
it's taking that moment to suffer a little bit, but then it'll pass. You have your cry, and it's beautiful. That grief is, it's love, it's gratitude, it's appreciation, it's all the beautiful memories. It's
Yeah. But it's a reminder to feel.
Yeah.
When it comes up,
it's fucking crazy how it's just stored in the body, like it's just there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it took an hour in the sauna or close to an hour in the sauna to
take me
bring
to
it up.
Yeah. Huh. It was good. It felt good. Felt good to release. Felt connected to him,
Yeah.
His spirit.
Well, and that's the funny thing. No doubt he's with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the funny thing I felt too with Stacy's passing is that I actually feel like she's closer to us now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's almost a tangible feeling. It's just like, no, it's okay. She's closer than ever.
Yeah.
She's supporting us all from afar, and she'll be our guardian angel and for her boys and our family. And I don't know. There's something that's kind of healing and feeling that,
Mm-hmm.
and for sure knowing she's not in pain anymore.
Yeah, it felt very much like she was holding that room full of people.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like for me.
Oh, cool.
I even visualized, I just saw her face just looking down at us.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Special.
That's the one thing I, not to get too nitty gritty, but like, that's the first up close cancer passing I have witnessed, and I'm sure there's other diseases and other things that are obviously just as taxing on the body. But for me, it brings a little anger to me of why, like, God is like merciless when it comes to some of that. It's like, why does it have to be that fucking ugly and painful? And I can just maybe it is Paul Check in my ear going, well, it's to wake people up. It's to recognize, your own divinity and your own strength, and have compassion, empathy, and wake you up to take care of yourself and all the different things, right?
Yeah. Love each day even a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still painful to witness someone have to go through that. Fuck, right?
Yeah.
But again, it provides that contrast. It's like, okay, well, if feel like I'm going through things with the loss, or just with stresses that it brings at home, or business, professional stuff, that stuff doesn't compare to physical pain.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad. So again, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that takes away from what we're going through. It's just it could be
perspective.
worse.
Yeah.
It could be way worse.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, try to honor Stacy that way by saying, thank you for your sacrifice, and thanks for the emotional gifts you provided, and try not to waste them.
Mm-hmm.
Do our best, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, dude, what a trip.
Yeah, life is a trip.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah. I didn't even tell Jess I cried in the shower. Yeah. Well.
It's crazy how that stuff can come up sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But beautiful.
Beautiful.
What time is it, Jay?
Fuck.
I feel like I haven't shut up.
No, dude, that was good. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being honest.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us in. Down the river.
Down the river we go.
Life doesn't stop. That's what I've been thinking a lot about. You know, witness, like being there on Sunday, and you know, I just kept thinking, fuck, tomorrow's another day. They gotta open these doors. You know, life just moves on.
The garbage still gets collected.
Kids gotta go to school.
Yep. Mailman still delivering mail.
Wild, eh? Jesus Christ. What the? This is a simulation, you know?
It's fucked.
Yeah, it's wild. Huh. Oh, and life goes on. This podcast is over, and we're on to the next one.
Yeah, but I see it. But there are. I think there's probably a level of enlightenment there to get to the point where you accept that.
Mm.
You know, and again, we're still moving through that. But maybe by the time we're 60 and 70, if not older, you're just like, yep, suck it up, move on. You know, it happens. You know, process it, do what you need to do, but do it quick because the next one's coming.
You know, they actually say older men get more emotional and softer, and older women get harder.
Oh, I can see that.
It rejigs itself because of obviously hormonal, less testosterone, more testosterone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm immediately thinking about elders in my life that, yeah.
Yeah, my grandma, she was a Scorpio woman, and quite intense, hard woman, but very loving still, obviously. And yeah, you can start to, once you understand it, you're like, oh, okay. I see that.
Friggin' hormones.
Hormones. Yeah, talking about hormones, thank God I'm off coffee. Man, that shit was fueling. Because I like intensity, like a little too much. But here we are, coffee free.
Woo. Good for you.
Thanks, bro.
See how long it lasts. You a little addict.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. We got one shot, you know? That's the takeaway there.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. If you want a little thrill, if you want to, you know what though, use it as an ability to focus and get shit done. Yeah.
Well, isn't that the funny thing about life though? Like that cleanse for you revealed that, you know, it wasn't about adding things in your life, it was subtracting.
Just taking things
Yeah,
away.
what
Actually, that's probably the lessons in the last 2-3 months for me. Less is more.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Simplicity. That's this year. Focus, simplicity. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice goal.
All right, bro.
All right.
Thanks for sharing.
Let's go home.
Let's do it. Breakfast time.
Yeah.